This week, I'm going to talk about the Biz2X implementations that we have across the 4 markets with numerous banks and other financial institutions. What we have learned, what advice we can give to bankers and non-bankers, as well as how they can offer a digital platform to their end customers.
Launching a digital platform these days might seem pretty simple for most bankers, but in reality, there's a lot that goes on under the covers here that can trip people up. What have we found in the Biz2X implementations that most often trip up these banks as they start their implementation?
In BizCredit's experience, the top 4 issues that banks really face is planning for change management, what to do with their core banking platforms today, how to design the best platforms for scalability and UI UX, and how do they address the security questions upfront. I think the most important piece in this is having a strategy which is supported by C-level executives through thick and thin.
Turning to the more of the business side, for chief risk officers and the risk management function in a bank, what does this digital implementation really mean for them? How do they need to get involved?
Yeah. So at Biz2X, we really work very closely with the risk folks, and we have seen there has been never been a better time for CROs or for the risk or data analytics people than today. People are realizing the value of that, and for the CROs, it's a great time to implement and leverage a lot of the third-party data elements which have been built. A lot of stuff that they can do with even PDF statements and physical data, which is really gets into any platform. Earlier, there was no way for that physical data to be processed or analyzed, but today, the technology really allows us to actually take data directly from PDF, analyze it, throw the results out, and also the ability to analyze it and cross-reference it. And I think that's a very important piece. The other piece that comes in digital very well is that you can give direct interfaces to the customer, give them the incentive to share more data and get more insights. And that, I think, is the most powerful example of how digitization can not only help the banks to manage the risk better, but also through the end borrowers and customers, and also incentivize them to share their data on an ongoing basis, which makes the whole ecosystem very strong and also a lot more predictive in nature.
And is there any specific advice you'd give to somebody in the CRO's chair? What do you need to kind of dictate or mandate in the implementation process of one of these tools?
So in our view at Biz2X, we have found that best CROs are those who can combine their lifetime experience in risk with data analytics. So this is very important, the combination. If you are just a risk guy and don't think about data, then it's a problem. And if you're just a data guy and have no experience in risk, then that's a bigger problem. So a marrying of the two, combining the two, and the ability to get products out of it and also streamline the processing, it becomes a very powerful offering that the risk people can not only offer to their end customer, but they can also lead those initiatives within the banks and the FIs today. In case if the banks and bankers are trying to mimic their physical processes into the digital world, that's going to be a nightmare out there. They will be getting dissatisfied customers, dissatisfied staff. They would spend a lot of money in fixing that stuff, and they will actually lose more market share than what they will gain. Because a failed digital strategy today is extremely dangerous to have. If you don't have a digital strategy, it's pretty risky. But if you have a failed digital strategy, that's even more risky. So it's very important that if in the physical world, the problems you're having, don't try to solve those problems by just taking those physical problems into digital world as a problem. You need to take a physical world problem into digital world with a solution. And I think that's the biggest opportunity. But if not done the right way, that can become the biggest pitfall for a lot of banks, and we see it a lot of time happening. My take is that digitization is a complex process. For banks, it's very important to get it right, and also to make it happen in a way that they don't take their physical inefficiencies into the digital world, with a plan to constantly improve, innovate, and scale up.